overall health status? These guys starting to get ramped up for spring now. Is everyone on track health-wise? You anticipated?
Yeah, I mean, most of our guys are on track. All of them are like gaining steam to be ready for spring. We're excited about it. I just left down there myself, seeing some of the younger players. So most of our guys are definitely on track, except for the three Tommy John guys.
How would you characterize where your roster is right now? You envision more transactions in the next 3 weeks before you guys go to spring?
Yeah, so look, we're still having conversations about certain moves that we could make to make the team better, and we're going to continue to grind all the way up until spring training and maybe even in spring training. So we don't want to leave any stone unturned for making this team a better team. And we're fired up about the season. The players are fired up about the season, and so we're still working.
How would you characterize the interest and maybe your surplus, your infield surplus from around the league? Are you getting interest on the infielders?
Yeah, look, they have interest in a lot of our players because we're a good team, right? And so, I've had conversations with a lot of other clubs, and they've asked me about multiple of our players. A lot of our pitching. They've asked about some of our infield. They asked about some of our outfield. And so we continue to have conversations, but we continue to stay locked in to make this team as best as we can make it.
How do you go about when you decide to trade? What's that?
Yeah, I mean, look, the big thing for us is if we have an opportunity to make the club better, we're going to do it. And that's just the bottom line. So that's basically how we would characterize it. Like, if we have any opportunity to make this club better, we're going to do it.
What are the areas of motivating is this offseason been? I know you guys won't win everything. You're coming off of a real miss the playoffs. Coaching and attacking this offseason, what's that been like?
Yeah, look, I mean, the guys are fired up. There's some frustration in not making the postseason, of course. Because that's the way we look at this. I mean, we have to make the postseason, right? So the guys are locked in, and so we've been really dedicated and focused on making this club better and doing whatever we have to do to make it better. And, that's free agent, that's trade, it's being creative. Don't leave any stone unturned.
What are the areas of the roster that you feel like you still can or want to address?
Yeah, look, I mean, if we can get, a left-hand bat, I've been saying that for a little bit. It's just that, acquiring a left-hand bat, that's pretty good. It's a tough thing to do. But we continue to look at that. We can be in a position where we can get a backup catcher. We'll do that. Losing Caratini, if not, Salazar is good enough to be that backup. He'll come into camp. He'll compete. Those are two areas where I'd like to try to do something.
Obviously, Paredes playing winter ball. How has he looked down there? And is he going to be full go when you guys get to West Palm?
Yeah, he looks like a full go. He's playing winter ball. He's actually played one game at first base, mostly DH. It's what we would expect anyway. Because we don't want to overstretch him in winter ball. But the fact that he was able to play first base for a game, and he's DHing down there mostly and swinging the bat. I think he's got a couple home runs, so he's looking pretty good. So he's on track.
How would you categorize the expectations on Cam Smith this year entering into his second year?
Yeah, I think Cam is going to be much better. I think he's got that year of experience under his belt. I think he'll come into camp fired up. We're looking for him to be a big part of this club. And, it's going to be very competitive, but we're looking for Cam to be a big part of this club.
So he's very much battling for a spot when he gets down to West Palm.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, we like Cam's future here. We think Cam's got the upside for sure to be the everyday right fielder. But, as a young player, you still have to come in and compete, and that's an important aspect of, what we do here. You got to come in and compete.
How do you feel about just this stuff?
What did you see from Carlos Correa? Everything as a Cardinal, what would you like to see from him this year, full year with you guys?
Yeah, look, first of all, Carlos came in as a big-time leader in our clubhouse. You know, he was a warm welcome because he's had so much success here. And I love when he would be in games and battle through at bats and drive the ball to right field. It was something we weren't doing. We were having quick at bats, and he came in. He was seeing some pitches, and so he showed some power at times and was really good at third base. So we're looking for big things. The leadership and the ability on the field is one of the main reasons why we acquired him. We're looking for big things from Carlos.
Because at the start, GM meetings, I think it was, he said that the outfield was a group that you felt like you guys needed to shore up a little bit. Where do you feel like that group stands, and are you able to project right now kind of how that group is going to look going into the campaign?
Yeah, look, I just think that's one of the areas where it's going to be most competitive, right? And competition is not the enemy of victories. I've always said it. When you have competition, it's a good thing on a major league team or any sports team. And so, having guys come in and compete for positions, it's where you want to be, right? Unless you have a load of veterans that, are very established, having this competition level, it's a good place to be.
As a surplus of infielders, do you see Jose Altuve still playing some left field a little bit, or do you see him more second?
I could see him playing a lot of second base, but certainly some left field. I don't think that. It's mainly a Joe question, but from me and Joe's conversations, he's going to play some games in left. He's also going to play some games in second. So I think he's going to get some run in both positions, particularly when we're trying to give guys, a break, or if we're trying to load the lineup with right-hand hitters. I think he's going to get some run in both places.
Do you have interest in adding an outfielder?
Adding an outfielder?
Is that something you feel
Look, if we have an opportunity where we can add a left-hand bat, I think that would be more of interest as opposed to just saying, hey, we want to get an outfielder. I think it goes along with what I said about potentially getting more left-hand bats in our lineup. So if that opportunity presents itself and we can make some type of trade to do that, I think that would be intriguing for us to make the team better.